emotions are valid, but the goal is not to be triggered every time. Never mind, it's just life. It's okay for my sanity to choose perfect peace, and now forever and always be here, present. I am enough as I am. I am fully equipped. Even when the tide and the currents start to shift, I am adaptable. I am adaptable. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. It's safe for me to be grounded. The balance between problem solving and the universe working itself out. All that I have is all that I need, but to actualize it I can't doubt, no doubt. My emotions are valid, but the goal is not to be triggered every time. Never mind, it's just life. It's okay for my sanity. I choose peace, and now forever and always be present. I am enough as I am. I am fully equipped. Even when the tide and the currents start to shift, I am adaptable. I am adaptable. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. It's safe for me to be grounded in the present moment. I honor God when I honor me. I honor God when I honor you. You honor God when you honor me. If you don't honor God, how could you honor me? Honor me.
Is it true you actually think of me as less than you? Just wish that I knew how something like that could happen. Maybe it's just in passing, 'cause nothing is everlasting, no. But like really though, how do you know that I can overcome all of the obstacles? She just looked me in the eyes, said it's gonna be alright, 'cause I know that's how it goes. The only thing we know is that we change. Nothing's ever gonna stay the same forever, forever. No, I won't, 'cause no one ever does. You just have to learn and learn to trust whenever, whenever. As blue as the sky above you, it's true that it won't end this way. If you lose and get sad about it, just know it's gonna the same forever. No one won't, 'cause no one ever does. You just have to learn to trust whenever. As blue as the sky above you, it's true that it won't end this way. If you lose and get sad about it, just know it's gonna go away. As blue as the sky above you, it's true that it won't end this way. If you lose and get sad about it, just know it's gonna go away.
Welcome. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Welcome. Okay. Having some technical difficulties with my microphone. Interesting. It was working earlier. Anyways, we'll move it out the side and we'll just do it directly into the computer mic. Well, thank you for being with us today. I appreciate you for taking a moment to join us. We moved it to 1 o'clock instead of 11:30. Hope that wasn't an inconvenience for anyone. I do want to take a poll. I am going to take a poll. We'll put a poll out there later on today to which works best. What works best? Does the 1 o'clock work best for you? Or does the 11 o'clock work best? 11:30 work best for you? So we're going to take a poll and put it out there later on Instagram, maybe on Facebook. Definitely on the Facebook page, we'll do it. But possibly on Instagram as well to see which stream works best for you. Well, we thank you for being with us again today for another episode of our Transform Your Life stream, and the continuation of our 13-week series. Of the Magnanimous Manifestation series, where we break down the word manifestation. As we understand that many of us have been out here flying by the pants of our seats, trying to figure out how to become masterful manifestors. We're tuning in and say, okay, the law of attraction, if I apply this piece and this piece, then I can really become a great manifestor. Well, what we've done here at One Transformation Center, and by the way, my name is M.A.N.I.F.E.S.T.A.T.I.O.N, I am M.A.N.I.F.E.S.T.A.T.I.O.N, a leader and spirit and transformation leader and founder of One's Transformation Center. And what we've done here is we have we've created a programming that would allow us to understand the different ingredients and elements of manifestation, of how to be a magnanimous manifestor. Now, say that 10 times, Magnanimous Manifestation. Actually, I can't even do it. But anyways, as I was saying, we really want you to be able to have the ingredients. It's like baking a cake. When you bake a cake, you want to ensure that you have all the ingredients so that you can get the outcome the predetermined outcome. Okay, so that's what we've done. We started out with week 1 with the word M, the letter M, with the word mindfulness. If you missed that, it is available on the stream at One Transformation Center. You can go back and view it. And they are categorized as well under the Transform My Life stream. Addition to that, then we went to A, which was attune, to be attuned or aligned with the vision, to be attuned or aligned with the very thing that you desire to manifest. Okay. Then we moved over to week 3, which was N, which was notate. How do we take notations? What are the different types of notations that we can take to really be intentional on our manifesting? How can we really be more intentional, whether it's visual, audio, or just written? How are we more intentional in what we manifest? And this is week 4, and we're focusing on to initiate. Initiate. How do we initiate? How do we move forward? And so that's what we're going to have here today. Not going to be long with you at all. But what I do want to do is I do want to go over the thought of the day that we share here for One Transformation Center. The thought of the day. The thought of the day is, let miracles replace all grievances. Let miracles replace all grievances. I challenge you that when you run into a space of a grievance, whether it's someone that you find issue with or something that just brings some discomfort or disorientation to you, or perhaps it's a current situation or a past situation that you take issue with, allow miracles to replace all those grievances. Why? Due to the fact that miracles are our birthright. It is something that's guaranteed, not because of what we do, but simply because of who we are, who and whose we are. And due to that, it's an opportunity for us to truly align with everything that we desire. All the miracles are there for us. The only thing that prevents us from being able to manifest it is our own self. It's the grievances we take with ourselves and with others. You know, think about it. I was talking to a buddy of mine who was driving down the road. He's a truck driver, and every time somebody does something that he feels is unwarranted, he just lays into them. They can't hear him. So ask yourself, who is that affecting, you or them? And where's your attention? Is your attention placed upon the miracles that could be availing themselves for you, or are they placed upon the grievances that you have with that said driver? I often say that those who angers us controls us. Those who angers you controls you. And so you may have asked, well, how do they control me? Yeah, they control your behavior, they control your attitude, they control your energy, they control all those things, but they also control your access to miracles. You know, you're sitting over there waiting on something to happen for you, but yet you're getting distracted by a grievance that you may have with someone. So I encourage you to let miracles replace all your grievances. Keep your attention focused on the main thing. Let the main thing be the main thing. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. All right. Now, as I stated before, we're going into the 13th week series of the Magnanimous Manifestation. And let's break down what that actually means. Let's break down what that actually means. Let's see here. The acronym, Magnanimous Manifestation acronym, we already broke it down to mindful, attune, notate, initiate, fortify, execute, sanitize, transform, affirm, transcend, ignite, oath, and no limits. But the definition that I want you guys to understand when we say magnanimous, that's a word that many of us have never heard before. So let's really get an understanding of what magnanimous means. The definition of magnanimous is showing or suggesting a lofty and courageous spirit, nobility of feeling, and generosity of mind. Again, it's showing or suggesting a lofty and courageous spirit, showing of nobility, the feeling of nobility and of generosity of mind. That means we've heard of the saying, being cheerful givers. We need to be cheerful manifestors as well. We need to understand that what we manifest is not just for ourselves, but it's also for others outside of our families, outside of our communities. It extends well beyond ourselves. Think about it. What if the master creator only created for himself, without you having access, without even keeping you in mind? How would you feel about that? What would be your perception of the creativity in that space? Yet you exist in a space where you get to benefit from all that was created in the beginning. You get to benefit from the trees and the oxygen that they provide when they transform, when they convert carbon dioxide back into oxygen for you to breathe. You get to benefit from the trees and the changing of the colors and the seasons, the changing of the colors representing the seasons that they're currently in. You get to benefit from the trees and the shelter they provide from the elements. That's one example of how to create in a magnanimous space. All right? So now, let's go on over here to today's presentation. Initiate. Initiate. Let's bring this up. Now, initiate can mean to start. One way to see initiate is to start and commence. To start and commence. After the vision, which we talked about last week in the notation, after the vision and the mission statement has been established, it's time to put it into action. Time to put it in action. There's a quote that says, "Do something today that your future self will thank you for." Why? Because our actions and decisions today will shape the way we will be living in the future. So who you are right now and the decision that you make right now would definitely determine your reality going forward, your experiences going forward. So that's why it's important for you to begin to manifest from a space that is magnanimous, not from a space that's selfish. Even though selfish is, well, let me take that back. I won't use the word selfish because I have a different interpretation of the word selfish. Selfish to me means you're taking care of oneself. You're being reliable, you're being responsible for yourself instead of depending on other people to do that for you. You're not being energy vampires, as we like to call them. However, operating from the space of the ego, which is edging God out, is different. We must do something today so it's not reflective of our ego. That is reflective of the benefit of everyone who is available to benefit. Okay? But it's important for you now to jump. You have to jump. So many of us are afraid of taking that leap. We're so afraid of believing in ourselves, of allowing ourselves to realize the opportunities that are available for us. Some of us are we have a fear of loss. We have fear of failure. And some of us are just paralyzed by false evidence appearing real themselves, which is the acronym of fear, false evidence appearing real. But I want to encourage you to, as Ella Henderson has done, to create a vision that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning. To create a vision that makes you want to jump out of bed in the morning. That will give you the power, the initiative to jump. And so and you go forward, and as Ray Bradbury says, jump and you will find out how to unfold your wings as you fall. So the big reason why many of us don't jump is because we're afraid of falling. We're afraid of falling. But the question is this: are you going to allow your fear or your false evidence appearing real from preventing you the opportunity to realize more of who you are. The football player Michael Orr says, don't ever allow yourself to feel trapped by your choices. Take a look at yourself. You are a unique person created for a specific purpose. Your gifts matter. Your story matters. Your dreams matter. You matter. So jump. The next part of taking the initiative or initiating is a rebrand and refresh. You may have already jumped. For those of us who have already jumped, and we've sensed some stagnation, we're not getting what we felt like we should get out of it, or we're getting a little tired. And that's when it's time for us to do a rebrand and refresh of our vision. Every great vision has to rebrand and restart in order to reflect its very expanding, its ever expanding or ever expansive demographic and environment. A great rule of thumb that is utilized by major brands throughout the United States, if you drive around, you'll see this, is they rebrand, they refresh their brand, refresh their vision, they revisit it once every 7 to 10 years. Drive around, look at Burger King, look at McDonald's, look at Popeyes. Look at all your different brands that you see out there. Look at Google. Google does it more frequently than that. Look at Windows. Look at iPhones, how often they put a new phone out there to keep you engaged. These are great identities. These are great examples that we can utilize in our own life as we're manifesting. You're initiating your process, or those who are relaunching or refreshing your process. Keep in mind, 7 to 10 years, mark it on your calendar, to revisit and to rebrand and refresh. Why? Well, Gail Devers, the great track star, says, keep your dreams alive. Understand to achieve anything requires faith and belief in yourself, vision, hard work, determination, and dedication. Remember, all things are possible for those who believe. You have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in you, who will? Who will? So here's 6 signals that it's time to rebrand and refresh. And this will conclude our presentation today. This is 6 signals, 6 signs that it's time to rebrand and refresh. Okay? Those are: your vision is out of date. When the appearance of stagnation or disconnectedness occurs, you're out of date. It's time to rebrand. It's time to refresh, revisit, go back to the drawing board. Look at where you are. Take a trip down memory lane and see what accomplishments, where have you come from? What lessons have you learned, and be able to apply those lessons into your right now reality going forward to help you to be able to realize your best opportunities, your best moments ahead. And don't forget to smell the roses along the way. Super important. So many of us have become result-oriented that we forget to detail the process, to write it down. I'll give you an example. So many of us are worried about getting through the other side that we forget that we all have a story to tell. And in that story, somebody else can be able to get the insight, the inspiration to come through what they're going through. But simply because you have not taken the time to journal your story, to detail, to be present of every moment that you have established, every walk, every voice, every time you've spoken, what you've spoken, the life that you've spoken into yourself, so on and so forth. I'll give you an example about life being spoken. Yesterday, I was sitting on my couch, and I heard this loud thump on my back door. And I'm thinking that maybe it was a chipmunk or squirrel playing because that's what they normally do. But at the same time, I'm very, very, very sensitive to animals, messages coming from the universe from different manners. And in this time, so I go back there and look and say, let me see what's going on here. And look at my window, I don't see anything. I do see a blotch on the door. And I'm like, okay, what ran into my door? Or was there some bird just leaving a mark from the sky? So then I opened the door and looked outside, and I noticed there was a bird over there, injured. I would take it that this bird probably ran pretty hard into the window and hurt itself. Well, of course, first thing I'm wondering what the message is of the bird ring, because I think like that. But then I go outside and begin to look at the bird, and I see the bird hurts pretty bad. And possibly in a position where it's going to be hard to rebound from it. And so I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the bird, and I begin to speak life in the bird, telling the bird, you and I, that which is in me and that which is in you is greater than death. You shall live. Continue to breathe. Just believe in yourself. You are a bird. Believe in yourself that you can recover. Believe in yourself that you are healed. Believe in yourself. I believe in you. And I began to tell the bird to take your time. And it's a time the wings were still spread out. I want to look at you when I say this. The wings were still spread out wide. The head was ducked down. Some could even say that maybe it was just acknowledging my presence and giving me a bow, but I wasn't thinking that in that moment. I was just watching the action of the bird and how it was laboring in its breath, how it was quivering. And I just wanted to affirm that bird. Just wanted to affirm it. And let it know that it was not there by itself. It was not alone. Like many of us feel. Many of us look for affirmation every single day. Just so that we can keep going. We can prevail. But we don't get it. I know the feeling. I've been in that space. So I knew to stand in this space for this bird in this moment. And so as we're sitting there with the bird, as I'm sitting there with the bird, and I say to the bird, take your time. You're in no rush. You're safe here. Just take a moment, recover, get your bearings, and continue being a bird. So then I go back in the house, and I probably come out maybe 15 minutes later. And this time I come out, the bird's wings have closed, no longer expanded. The head is no longer down, it's now up, with the beak tucked into its neck. And I speak and said, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for not giving up on yourself. I'm proud of you for taking your time. And most importantly, thank you for the message that you brought my way. Thank you for the message that you decided to deliver and for showing up in the way that you've shown up. I appreciate you tremendously. I won't share the message. Many of you who understand this process, you understand what the message could be. And then I went back in the house and I came out maybe 15 more minutes later. And I realized that the bird had departed. I've been getting many signals like that, but I just wanted to use this one because here's a situation where something appeared to be injured and could possibly be on its way out. That if we just take one moment to speak life into it, if only that is what we have to offer, that it is enough. That if we take one moment to speak life into ourselves, it is enough. So I want to encourage you to do that. Take a moment to speak life into you, speak life into yourself. All right, let's continue on. Let's continue on. The next Turning back to the slide. Now, the next one is too broad of a target audience. Whoever you're targeting, maybe you're not being specific enough, even for yourself if it becomes difficult. You have to understand that an efficient vision is one connecting with a specific audience or niche. You have to be specific. You can be broad all day long and drill down, but you have to get specific so you can really hone in to your audience that's there to support you. Whatever your vision is, whether it's just you and your family is the audience, tone in so there's something they can grasp and support you with. See, your audience is not something that you're necessarily selling to. Your audience is someone who's supporting you in the quest of the fulfillment of your manifestation. So drill down so they can get a clear understanding of what it is that you're desiring, what it is that you're creating, your vision, so that they can support it. The next one is lack of uniqueness. We're on the 6 signals to know it's time to refresh and rebrand. Uniqueness. The more unique you are, the greater you and your audience connection, becomes. Focus on what sets you apart. So frequently, we are worried about what everybody else does, and we're trying to fit the trend. We're trying to be like other people that we forget to be unique. Be who you have been uniquely called to be, because you are uniquely qualified to be that. Nobody else can, and they can't be it in the way that you are. And there's an audience for you to be that, to show in that space. So make sure that your vision, that which you desire to manifest, is done in a unique way. Unique way. Number 4, the loss of value. The loss of value occurs, this occurs when you become disconnected from your why and unable to effectively communicate it in a clear, concise manner to others. So I encourage you to revisit your why frequently so that you can remain connected. But if you sense this happening, it's time to refresh, reset. 5th, your imagery is adversely perceived. Who you are is seen opposite of what you desire to be seen. In this case, in the event the tide shifts and your perspective adjusts, you must adjust with it. You must adjust with it. Don't resist it. Be in a space of alliance and find yourself in that flow. Find yourself in that flow. And lastly, remain proactive. Avoid becoming too comfortable with your ideas and your vision, leading you to become outdated and less relevant. Outdated and less relevant. Nobody wants to feel old, do they? We don't want to feel old in our minds, nor do we want to feel old in our bodies. We don't want our visions and our businesses to become feel old. Because when they do, then they're only attractive to those who are attracted to old, who are attracted to stale. So in order for you to be more relevant, allow yourself to be proactive, remain proactive with your health, with your mindset, remain proactive with your wellness, proactive with your energy, remain proactive in all aspects of your life so that you can enable yourself to be more attractive. But in the event this happens, or any of these 6 items occur, your vision's outdated, you're too broad of an audience, target audience, your lack of uniqueness, some loss of value, your imagery is adversely perceived or you're not being proactive, it's time to refresh. It's time to refresh your vision and move to a different space. All right, this concludes our presentation on Initiate. I hope that you join us back next week as we continue this series. It's 13 days. Next week will be the 5th day. So, all righty. What else we have? If you have any questions, have any concerns out there, please take a moment, by the way, to subscribe to the One Transformation Center YouTube page. We thank you in advance for that. Also, take a moment to go over to our Facebook page as well as Instagram as we provide daily updates to keep you engaged, to keep you supported, to aid you on your transformation. We're here for you. We're absolutely here for you. And for those of you who wonder what the vision of One Transformation Center is, ONE is an acronym for One Incredible Experience. And we desire to create those type of experiences in our lives, first and foremost. Secondly, it is to celebrate humanity, to remind us what humanity really is and the importance of humanity, to reconnect with being humane, to being humane. That's a lost art in today's society. We love to spite one another, to put down one another, to diminish each other's values, instead of uplifting each other, speaking life into one another. So we're going to celebrate humanity while being humane. Thirdly, we're here to inspire, motivate, and heal lives and relationships across the globe. That is key for us. All this is done just for that one reason. So in turn, I'd like to thank you all again for being here. And I want to admonish you, do not forget today's reminder that miracles replace all grievances. Let your miracles replace all of your grievances. Until next time, we say we love you. We thank you for being all that you are. And we look forward to seeing you again in the future. Oh, by the way, next week, tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the morning manifestation session. So tune in with us there as well. And in closing, I just want to remind you, continue to be the change you desire to see. Continue to be the change you desire to see. And don't forget, be great. Until next time, ciao.
Be careful with my heart, oh. Say I'm not sensitive, but I can sense if it's right for me. Don't let your head get in the way. Can't be defined by your mistakes. You know you try really hard. But sometimes you fall. Yeah, sometimes you fall. Try being on your own side for once. Keep it in here and lock it. Keep it in here, don't knock it. Before you try being on your own side for once. But sometimes